Useless, Jake grumbled, flinging the book onto the table like it was a crumpled fast food wrapper. I froze, my chest tightening as I stared at him, disbelief sinking in. What is this? He sneered, waving a hand at the handmade scrapbook I'd poured weeks into. This is your big idea? A sloppy pile of photos and sappy junk? You're a joke, Ellie. My hands balled into fists under the table. But I forced myself to breathe. I thought you'd like something personal, I said, voice steady despite the sting. It's our memories, everything we've built together. He rolled his eyes so hard I swore they'd fall out. Built together? Spare me the drama, Ellie. I'm sick of your mushy nonsense. You could have gotten me something worth a damn. But no, you waste time on this garbage. It's embarrassing. I swallowed the lump in my throat, his words slicing deeper than I'd let him see. Jake. No, he cut me off, jumping to his feet and raking a hand through his messy hair. You don't get it, do you? This isn't cutting it anymore. You aren't cutting it. I need someone who brings something real to the table. Not this pathetic, thoughtful crap dragging me down. My stomach churned. What are you saying? He smirked, arms crossing like he'd rehearsed this. I'm done, Ellie. I'm leaving you. I've met someone, Zoe. She's 20, full of life, and knows how to enjoy it. Unlike you. His words hit like a sledgehammer, but I kept my face stone cold. And this is how you break it to me? I asked, my voice shaking but firm. After I poured my soul into this? He laughed, a sharp, icy sound. Your soul? That's the problem. You're all feelings and no substance. I deserve better. For a second, I just sat there, his venom echoing in my skull. Then out of nowhere I started laughing. Not a fake chuckle, a real booming laugh that sliced through the room like lightning. What's so funny? Jake snapped, eyes narrowing. I stood, still grinning, and grabbed the scrapbook. You don't even know what you're tossing aside. I flipped to the back, pulling out a folded paper tucked in the last page. What's that? He asked, suspicion creeping into his tone. I dangled the deed in front of him. This? Oh, just the deed to a vacation house I bought for us. Plan to surprise you tonight. Guess that's off now. His jaw hit the floor. You bought a house? I slipped the deed into my purse with a sugary smile. Looks like Zoe won't be lounging by the lake, huh? Jake's face twisted, shock, panic, and a flicker of regret all at once. You bought a house? He stammered, his cocky edge crumbling. Since when do you pull stuff like this? I tilted my head, savoring the moment. Since I figured out I can't count on you for anything that matters, Jake. While you were chasing thrills with a 20-year-old, I was planning a future. My mistake for thinking you'd want it too. He opened his mouth, then shut it, staring at the scrapbook like it might bite him. You're blowing this out of proportion, he muttered, but the fire was gone. This doesn't change anything. Zoe and I. Zoe and you? I cut in, shaking my head. I don't care. Take your exciting life and get out. You've made it crystal clear what I mean to you. I turned and marched to the bedroom we'd once shared, his half-baked excuses trailing after me. I grabbed a bag, tossing in essentials as he paced downstairs, probably scrambling to backtrack without losing face. Pausing, I glanced at the dresser, wedding photos, vacation snapshots, a life I'd clung to too long. They felt like fossils now. When I returned to the living room, Jake stood by the door, arms crossed, trying to look cool. You're seriously leaving? He asked, like I'd lost my mind. I am, I said, brushing past him. This is insane, he barked. You're being petty, Ellie. You'll regret this. I stopped at the door, turning to face him. Maybe, but I won't regret sticking around to be your punching bag. The night air hit me like a wake-up call as I stepped outside, the weight of Jake's world sliding off my back. I drove off, deed in my purse, and didn't look back. I deserved better, and I was done playing the loyal wife in his selfish game. I headed straight for Sarah's place. She'd get it, no lectures, just ears. When she opened the door, one look at me made her frown. What did he do now? Can I come in? I asked, steady but drained. She waved me inside. Kitchen or living room? Kitchen, I said, knowing wine was already on its way. Minutes later, we sat at her tiny table, Merlot in hand, her eyes locked on me. Spill, she said, leaning back. I unloaded it all, the scrapbook, Jake's cruelty, his big reveal about Zoe. When I hit the vacation house twist, her jaw dropped. He called you useless after everything? Then dumped you for some kid? You're kidding. Nope, I said, swirling my glass. That's Jake, always so sure I'd just take it. But not this time. Sarah's anger melted into a grin. You walked out. You kept the house. Ellie, hell yeah. Good for you. Her words flipped a switch in me. I hadn't just escaped Jake. I'd ditched years of trying to be enough for someone who'd never see it. What's next? She asked, snapping me out of my head. No clue, I admitted. I've been so tied up in fixing us, I don't even know who I am without him. She squeezed my hand. You'll figure it out. One step at a time. Crash here tonight, no arguing. I smiled. Thanks, Sarah. That night, sprawled on her couch, exhaustion hit, but beneath it, relief bloomed. Jake wasn't my burden anymore. I'd spent years bending for him. Now I didn't have to. We need to talk. You're acting like a kid, Ellie. The last one cracked me up. You can't just walk away. Oh, the irony. Sarah shuffled him with coffee. Let me guess, Jake? Bingo, I muttered, showing her the screen. He's spiraling. What did he expect? She said, handing me the mug. You don't trash someone and then act shocked when they bounce. I nodded, sipping. He's not used to losing. But this time he's not winning me back. Damn straight, Sarah said, smirking. Later, another text popped up. I'll swing by the house tonight. We need to sort this. My house. He still thought he had a say. I considered firing back, but Sarah's advice echoed. Let him stew. I ignored it, spending the day with her instead. Catching up on life I'd let slip. That evening, I pulled up to my place. Jake's car sat in the driveway like he owned it. I parked on the street, steeling myself before heading in. He was pacing the living room. A mix of fury and desperation on his face. Nice of you to show, he snapped. I live here, I said, dropping my purse on the counter. Why are you here? We need to talk, he said, softening. This is a mess. What's a mess? I asked, arms folded. Me finally growing a spine? Or you realizing Zoe's not the jackpot you thought? His jaw clenched, but he slumped onto the couch. I screwed up, okay? I wasn't thinking. We can fix this. I laughed, sharp and cold. Fix this? Jake, this isn't a flat tire. It's years of you treating me like dirt. Expecting me to grin and bear it. Ellie, he started. No, I said, cutting him off. You picked your path. Live with it. I grabbed my bag and headed upstairs, leaving him speechless. The next day, I boxed up his crap, left it by the door, and called a locksmith. When he showed that evening, smug as ever, I met him on the porch with a folder in hand. What's this? He asked. Eyeing the papers. Your stuff, I said, nodding at the suitcase. And this is my lawyer's info. She'll be in touch. His face hardened. You're overreacting. You can't handle life without me. I smiled thinly. We'll see. Now get off my porch. He grabbed his bag and stormed off, his swagger fading. Over the next 2 weeks, the house felt lighter, mine again. I dove into work, reconnected with friends, and leaned on Sarah. Good riddance, she said when I told her he was gone. He was dead weight, Ellie. She was right. Doubt crept in sometimes. Had I overreacted? But it faded fast, especially after Jake's next call. Ellie, he said, voice tight. We need to talk. I sighed. What now? It's Zoe, he spat. She's out. Laughed in my face. Called me pathetic for throwing you away. Said I'm a loser for letting you keep the house. I grinned. Ouch. That must have hurt. She called me an idiot, he rambled. Ignoring me. Said I tanked everything you built. Then she bailed. Too sweet. The guy who dumped me for a fling was tasting karma. So you're calling me because I messed up, he said. Quieter. Big time. Can we talk? Nope, I said, shaking my head. You made your choice, Jake. Deal with it. I hung up, the silence wrapping around me like a hug. That night, tea in hand, I felt peace. Jake's life was crashing, not my circus anymore. The divorce flew by, my lawyer locked everything down, and Jake didn't fight. He knows he's got no ground, she said, handing me the final papers. Leaving her office, I felt free. That night, Sarah showed up with wine and her usual flair. To Ellie, she toasted, who kicked Jake's sorry ass to the curb and took her life back. I laughed, clinking glasses. To Sarah, who never rubbed it in yet. Not yet, she winked. Months later, I stood on the vacation house deck, lake glowing under the sunset. Phoenix Consulting, my baby was soaring. Freelancing gave me wings, and a keynote invite from a client sealed it. I was thriving. Backstage at the conference, nerves buzzed, but Jake's old jabs didn't hold me back. I stepped up and owned it. A year ago, I was stuck pleasing someone who didn't see me. Today, I'm here because I chose me. The crowd connected, nods, smiles, notes scribbled. Afterward, a woman thanked me teary-eyed. You showed me it's never too late. Driving home, I deleted Jake's latest text without reading it. On the deck that night, stars above, I knew this was my story now, and I was writing the hell out of it.